Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel Simply Stocks, and today I'm going to talk about Astral Poly, a very interesting company. Whether this can become a 3x from here, let's understand. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation, and people taking any position into any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research. And I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. Before I talk about Astral Poly, here's a small request that kindly support me on Patreon. Once you do that, it will help me grow the channel. It will help you also ask me questions on a daily basis. And once you get the $10 membership on Patreon, it will go a long way because that will help you have access to my portfolio, my watch list, some of my podcasts that I keep posting every other day, and also some of the major articles on markets and also on different stocks. So there's a lot to offer at around the $10 Patreon membership. Kindly do that. If you don't have a credit card, you can email me and I'll work things out. I'm in the process of working that things out for detailed market or company analysis. And if you have a number of stocks with you, you can directly email me and we can have a conversation as well. About the company, established in 1996, Astral Poly is a leader in plumbing pipes and solutions. So this is a better and a more vast spread company than a Prince Pipes that I was mentioning earlier. There's a high profit and return ratio growth that has taken place over the last 5 6 years. Although at least the last decade, although the last 1 year has not been that great because of the economic condition. They also make agricultural pipes and insulation tubes, one of the fastest growing infrastructure housing ancillary stock, and the market cap of the company is around 14,000 crores. If you look at the numbers, then the number sales have gone down by around 20%, 18-19% for this Q4, and profit has gone down by 20%, primarily due to the lockdown that has taken place just recently, and the March numbers was not that great. I think the June quarter numbers would still be not in the upswing, although it is a big company in the rural places. So with the rural economy doing well, and we have seen how tractor sales have been, and how the rural economy has done over the past 2 3 months, there could be a situation where the stock may perform even better. There's high institutional and promoter holding with only 10% free float, and that is extremely positive for the stock. Return on equity is 14% and operating profit margin is around 18%. If you look at the performance of the stock, then stock had a very strong 12-month period between October to September 2019. It consolidated post that till February 2020. So for the next 6 months, 5 months, it did not go up very sharply as other mid cap and small cap companies did. The stock probably kept in range and then fell sharply in February and March crash. So had fallen 45% from the highs of 380 and fell to around 180 levels. There's low equity that has led to these sharp moves, so the equity base is not that strong. So whenever there is a bear phase in the stock, then the fall is extremely fast, and whenever there is a bear, the good phase, or the, you can say, the bull phase, then the up move has is always extremely quick. So you have to take that into consideration. So it has fallen around 45% in that fall. Has recovered something like 30% from the lows, but not a huge recovery. Stocks have even double tripled from those March lows, as we have seen in the consumer domain, in the diagnostic domain. Results have remained on the weaker side, and that is primarily the reason why the stock is not doing that well. The return ratios are pretty good, so the company per se is producing very good numbers in terms of return ratios before, you can say, September 2019 quarter. But this slowdown in the Indian economy has really hurt these sort of companies. So you look at a Kajaria, Sera Ceramics, something like something into, you can say, manufacturing of tiles, manufacturing of, you can say, housing products, and comes into it, it also comes into infra ancillary place. So this sector is not doing that well, not because of the current situation that we are facing in India, but because of the slowdown that has taken place over from 2018 onward. So as I mentioned, the salient features of the company, as you look at it, there's low market cap for such a business. The business is growing with expanding profits, and it is the one of the stronger businesses listed. So what has happened is market cap of the company is not that huge considering the scope of the business that they are doing, and the competition is there, but yet the company is doing much better on the business front, expanding and getting more market share. Uh, Till September, October, the profits were growing and expanding pretty well. But just recently, in the last 5, 6 months, because of the economic crisis, the business has not done that well. But it is one of the stronger businesses listed. So there are other companies, but this is a much better business compared to those companies that I have already talked about. And there is scope of strong order book. One things improve. So once you see that things normalize, probably in a year's time, we will see much better, you can say, stronger order book, etc., for the company. Scope of margin expansion and better realization once things normalize is always there. And there's gamut of products that they are selling. So some agricultural pipes, some domestic pipes, you can say sewage systems, etc. There are many things that Astral Poly is currently making. What are the risks attached for the company? Then being in the infra housing space is a big risk, because once infrastructure and housing picks up, only then the company will do well in the urban space. In the rural sector, it might do well till August, September, and then things may go down a bit later on, because there's more demand of pipes and agricultural pipes, etc., for motors and for irrigation, etc., during March, April till July, August. So you have to take that into consideration. Economic slowdown is really hurting the business, and if this continues for a year or 2 years, then the business might not do well and the stock may not do well. So you have to take that into consideration. No one knows how long the sentiment will remain damp. For the this dampness in the real estate sector is also hurting, as I explained. More, if there is another shutdown and slower recovery in housing, that will hurt the business badly, because then the business may completely stall for, say, the December quarter, if something happens later on, or even the latter half of this September quarter. So this is a huge risk. Other companies which are related to internet and everything, they will continue to perform well, but these sort of companies may not do that well. Market fall is expected after the current run up that is taking place in the market. That would hurt the stock per se, because the stock may go down another 20-25% if the market falls big, because we are seeing a strong surge in the stock market at the moment. Investors may lose patience and move to safer options. So larger investors which have gone into such stocks, which is into infra ancillary, they may just book out and get into consumption, etc., and that will also reduce the price, because the equity base is low. So all these are risk attached with such a company. If you look at the technicals of the major long-term support lies at around 900 levels. A resistance zone is between 1080 to 1150 levels. Strong up move is expected above the 1040 levels. May have seen the major lows for the time being. 920 seems a good level to accumulate the stock, and so any dip towards 900 920 levels, you can accumulate the stock. Looking much better on charts than in March for sure. So around 1000 to 900, between that you can accumulate, but then results have to really support for the stock to continue to march forward. So my call on the stock is that hold if you have it. Add on major declines. If there is heavy decline, then you need to add on to the stock further, but not at the current level. Current levels may as well just reduce the stock even further. Will take time to reach full potential. If the economy picks up, only then the stock will do particularly well. But at the current price level, you need to wait for major declines in August and September. Keep track of events and numbers. Probably in going forward, you will see that things may improve on the pandemic front. Things may improve on this condition of the economy, and only then put in more money into the stock. It can end up being a 50 odd thousand crore company, but it will take some 4 5 years to do that. Probably in the next couple of years it may struggle. So this was my video on the stock. Please like and subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get my videos straight away when I post it. Thanks a lot for watching.